Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. Your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of our coverage. Commanders lose their third straight, 28-7 to the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. It was kind of interesting, not the way we kind of thought it would go. To be honest, I really didn't think the offense was going to let us down like that, and that's kind of what happened. Defense played inspired in the first half, but, fundamentally, when you go back and look at this game, what you see is a team that kind of got out over its skis a little bit last year and didn't have a franchise quarterback covering up those deficiencies in the roster. And it just got beat by a more talented team. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Had the Commanders been able to come out and play a perfect game, I think this would have been tight in the end. As a matter of fact, when you go back and look at it, an interception and 2 fourth downs that you don't get, that's 21 points they left out on the field right there. So, you do the math on it, and it's a little bit of ifs and buts where candies and nuts every day would be a Merry Christmas, but, you make those plays and finish off those drives, it could have conceivably been a lot different. Now, ultimately, I still think that the Chiefs would have won because what you saw in the second half was really a masterclass in an organization that's just further along in its lifespan, knows how to win, knows how to make adjustments, something the Commanders did not do at halftime, did not do in the second half. And that's why Kansas City just absolutely owned the second half. That's what I was kind of worried about when we saw them go into the locker room tied at 7-7. I said, hey, look, I said to myself, I'm like, okay, we know that the Chiefs are going to come out and going to be a lot better prepared in the second half for what the Commanders brought on, both offense and defense. And that's exactly what we saw. Patrick Mahomes, did what Patrick Mahomes does after a slow start. Believe it or not, he finished 25 of 34 for 299 yards. And the Chiefs kept the ball for more than 20 minutes of the second half. You're just not going to win if that's the case. I thought Marcus Mariota played about as well as he could have, 21 to 30 for 213 yards. And by and large, I thought that, they ran the ball well again. As a matter of fact, I know they ran the ball well again because they had 200 and, I'm sorry. I am looking at the receiving chart. You know what? I take it back. Hey, at least, full disclosure here, we're not going back and just cutting the tape and redoing this. They didn't run the ball for crap. 20 carries, 60 yards. Granted, they were behind in the second half, but they have got to get more out of that running game than just 9 carries and 25 yards for Bill Merritt. That's just all there is to it. But, it was just a case of there was only so much that they were going to be able to do against this team, against this Kansas City team, which you can see why this team is a favorite to win the Super Bowl again. They just outgained them and just beat them in every aspect of the game there in the second half. Again, had they been able to capitalize on that first half, it would have meant they'd have been able to stay in the game until the fourth quarter. But again, we knew going in, if they didn't play perfect, they really didn't have a chance. So those adjustments that they didn't make and the show that Patrick Mahomes put on in the second half was just, it was the difference in it. There were some bright spots. Terry McLaurin, provided he didn't re-injure his quad, had his moments. And, for the first game back, making that touchdown grab, I thought was absolutely incredible, as was that, that reception on that go route there on the sideline. I thought that was a great play as well. And it shows you that when, hopefully by next week or by this Sunday, Terry can be back into form. and be able to be a difference maker out there. I think that Deebo Samuel is probably still hurting a little bit. The interception obviously didn't help. I thought that, hopefully it's a bright spot to build upon on the defense in the first half, and that Marshawn Lattimore, had that interception. Go back and look at that again, because that was one hell of an interception. I mean, it really was. He grabbed that with one hand, basically, just made a great interception on that. Made a great play on that ball. Now, he's got to do it more often. The entire defense has to do it not only more often, but obviously for an entire game. We hope to get an update later on today on the health of McLaurin, who, as you saw, was on the sideline there for most of the second half. Also going to be interested to see in the health of Javon Kinlaw, who went out, came back in. Ditto for Laramie Tunsil, who did not play in the second half. And now it is on to Sunday Night Football against Seattle. They are going to get a little bit of an emotional boost from the crowd because they're wearing the Super Bowl era jerseys on Sunday night, but that's a sugar high that's not going to last very long. What you have to hope right now, and this is what I want to leave you with tonight, is that what you saw in the first half was something that they can build on, and what you saw in the second half isn't going to drag them down into the abyss. Seattle's off to a good start. They've got Seattle and Detroit at home the next 2 weeks. Both teams are combined 10-4. This is a tough stretch for them, and they don't have any room for error. In fact, they have no room for error. They've got to win one of these two, and I think Seattle gives them the best chance. I thought that, they played really well in the first half defensively. I think putting Marshawn in press coverage is the way to go. Sam Darnold and Jared Goff the next 2 weeks as quarterbacks just, don't keep you up at night. Their supporting casts certainly do, but not them. So the Commanders have got to figure out a way to rally here. Build on what you did well. There were things that they did do well against Kansas City. It's a game they could have got run out of the building in the first half after that performance against Dallas, but they didn't. Build on what you did do well. Hopefully they can get back up for it emotionally and come out and win a Sunday night game against Seattle. That will definitely, that'll make things a lot more palatable. If you can go into that Detroit game sitting at 4-5 with a chance, if you can defend your home field, to get even, then you're looking at going over to Spain to play a really bad Dolphins team, and you could still, somehow, some way, wind up with a winning record as you hit the bye. But that is pie in the sky right now. The only thing they need to be concerned about is getting a win against Seattle on Sunday. We'll take a look at the tape tomorrow, give you some breakdown of the All-22, as well as let you know what Dan Quinn said in the morning after press conference. Don't forget, like and subscribe, drop a comment, give us your opinion on the game, what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like. I think there was plenty to like in the first half and not a lot to like in the second half. Let us know what you thought. Talk to you again tomorrow. Remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.